Shame and vulnerability researcher and author Brené Brown, PhD and social worker, describes shame as an intense, painful feeling or experience of believing that we are flawed and therefore unworthy of love and belonging. Oftentimes, as humans, we attempt to hide from or move away from our shame. We use what Linda Hartling, a relational cultural theorist, has coined shame shields to move away from, to move towards, or move against in order to mask shame. Shame shields are 3 strategies of disconnection. Moving away is withdrawing, hiding, silencing oneself, and keeping secrets. Moving towards is seeking to appease and please. And the third, moving against, is trying to gain power over others, being aggressive, and using shame to fight shame. Not talking about shame, hiding from it, or feeling angry towards others is not the best method of dealing with shame. In her book, Daring Greatly, Dr. Brené Brown explains that the less we talk about shame, the more power it has over our lives. If we cultivate enough awareness about shame to name it and speak to it, we basically cut it off at the knees. Bringing awareness to shame and talking about it assists the process of understanding it. Any emotions, if obstructed, can cause challenges and difficulties in life. To move beyond shame, it requires acknowledgement as well as empathy. By acknowledging shame and naming it, it can no longer define us. Dr. Brown also wrote in her book, "When we bury the story, we forever stay the subject of the story. If we own the story, we get to narrate the ending." Shame develops as a result of conditioning that affects the mind, body, and emotions. It's often developed in childhood as the result of experiences. And this story is carried into adulthood. This story can be rewritten. The old story doesn't have to define the present moment or the future. The essence of who you are is not this story. Rather, your essence is whole and complete. Dr. Brown has studied what is required in order to move from shame to self-love and compassion, to build resilience towards shame. One must move from fear, blame, and disconnection to empathy and developing more compassion and connection with themselves. In this series of hypnosis programs, you will have the opportunity to develop more self-compassion and resiliency towards shame. The first step in building resilience is recognizing shame and what triggers it. This is a process of recognizing when a shame shield is active, bringing awareness to and understanding it, and practicing mindfulness in order to stop unhelpful loops of thinking and to replace them with helpful thoughts. In this first program, we'll focus on mindfulness-based techniques to assist with developing mindfulness and awareness to stop unhelpful loops of thinking. Shame creates these unhelpful loops of thinking within the mind. Mindfulness and awareness can help to become more aware of these thoughts and to facilitate groundedness in the present moment. This process of mindfulness acknowledges these thoughts and then assists you in unhooking from them. We'll also be focused on building thoughts that are focused on self-compassion and empathy. This can assist in moments when shame shields are triggered, providing a tool to move towards mindfulness and awareness, and to return to self-compassion and empathy. Self-talk that is engaged in is regularly unkind. It can be negative thoughts about oneself, holding oneself to unrealistic standards, and focusing on how to always be better. Mindfulness is about tuning into this voice and acknowledging these thoughts. It's also about tuning in to things that you like about yourself, even if they aren't obvious in every moment. There are parts of you that you like. In this exercise, you will bring your awareness to these aspects of yourself to offer a more complete picture of who you are. Thoughts are a part of every human experience. You don't need to push them away. Learning to bring your mind back from its thoughts is the practice. How do you let go of a thought once it's pulled you in? This exercise offers one way to unhook yourself from thoughts and to simply let them be, without pushing thoughts away or denying their presence. You can be aware of the thinking mind while remaining unattached. When you're ready to begin the exercise, you can move to the next track.